Good morning, friends. Myself, Professor Prashant Mahajan, working as an assistant professor at AISSMS Institute of Information Technology. So, in the previous lecture, we have discussed polymer composites, and in today's lecture, we will start part 2 of the unit 3, that is nanomaterials. So, what is nano? Nano means it is the size range from 1 to 100 nanometers. So, let us start. So some important applications of nanomaterials. So first is nanophase silicon can be used in microscopic semiconductor process to create new devices. So means silicon can be used in the uh, nanophase in the semiconductor process. Then nanostructured semiconductors are used in Windows layer of solar cell. Silicon powders and silicon germanium quantum dots are used in infrared optoelectronic devices. Ordinary glass doped with semiconductor is used in optical computing. So this is the second use. Then third, nano size metallic powder is used for production of gas tight material, dense part and porous coating. Then fourth, magnetic nanocomposites are used for mechanical force transfer, for high density information storage and magnetic refrigeration. Then fifth is nanostructure metal clusters and colloids are used in catalytic applications. And sixth is nanostructure metallic oxide is used as gas sensor in rechargeable batteries for cars. So these are the few of the applications of nanomaterials. Then what is nanomaterial? You can see the definition. So nanomaterial are defined as a set of substances where at least one dimension is less than approximately 100 nanometer. Remember, we are saying at least one. It can be two or three dimensions. So depending on the dimensionality that are classified. Then a nanometer is 1 millionth of millimeter, approximately 1 lakh times smaller than human hair. So that is, you can see your human hair, but you cannot see nanomaterials with your naked eyes. And third, engineered nanomaterials are designed at the molecular level in order to take advantage of their small size and novel properties, which are generally not seen in their conventional and bulk material. So, nanomaterials can be engineered for a specific use. The next is what are the reasons for different properties in nanomaterials than their bulk materials? So that are given. First, it has large fraction of atoms. They have high surface energy. They have spatial confinement. They have reduced imperfection. So first is much greater surface area to volume ratio than their conventional forms. So for that you can consider the example of sugar crystal and sugar powder. Just consider at is that sugar is dissolved in, first consider crystals of sugars are dissolved in water. So what we observe that sugar crystals take more time to dissolve as compared to sugar powder. That means sugar crystals are having less surface to dissolve as compared to sugar powder. So when we put sugar crystals, it will take time, but when we put powder, it will dissolve as soon as we put it in the water. So that means smaller the size, it will get higher surface area. So that's why surface area to volume ratio will be higher in the case of nanomaterials as compared to their bulk materials. Then second, quantum effect. That is, the energy band gap and charge carrier density can be modified quite differently from their bulk, and in turn will modify electronic and optical properties of their material. That means as we reduce the size of the nanomaterials, it will that that will change the band gap difference between conduction band and valence band. So that means as we decrease the size, the band gap difference between conduction band and valence band will increase. Then next is reduce imperfection. So that means nanostructure and nanomaterials favors the process of cell purification, that impurities add intrinsic material defects move near to the surface on thermal annealing, which in turn increases the perfection of materials. So what I'm saying, just consider the example of chalk. If you see that chalk, it is having some pores in that, but as we decrease the size, that particle size is going to be lesser and lesser. In that case, the imperfection present in the bulk material get reduced. So smaller the size, higher will be the perfection. That means if we increase, sorry, if we decrease the size of the nanomaterials, that imperfection will get reduced. Then this is the classification of nanomaterials. So first is zero dimensional, second is one dimension, third is two dimensional, and fourth is three dimensional. So what is zero dimensional? Zero dimensional means there is no dimensions. You can see example is nanoparticles. One dimensional means you can see, or one dimension is above nanometer scale, and remaining two dimensions are in nanometer scale. Then two dimension means two dimensions Lx and Ly will be of above nanometer scale, and remaining one is in the nanometer scale. And third one is three dimensional, that is all the three dimensionals are above nanometer scale and no dimension is in the nanoscale. So example is zero dimensional nanoparticles, one dimensional nanowires, nanorods, nanos, nano needles, nanotubes, two dimensions nanocoatings, nanofilms, and three dimensional nanocrystals and nanocomposites. So this is the classification of nanomaterials. The next is important properties of nanomaterials. So first is optical properties. So that means optical properties depends on the size, shape, surface characteristics and other variables including doping and interaction with surrounding environment. So the example is given gold nanoparticles. So color varies as we change the size of gold nanoparticles. So you can see the size of the nanoparticles and color. So this is 30 nanometers, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90. So as we vary the size of the nanomaterials, the color is also varying. So that is optical properties. So in the ancient years, that caves, that color which is red, which is filled in that caves, it is not actually color. That is gold nanoparticles and silver nanoparticles are filled. So that is optical properties. Then second is electrical properties. So that is in nanomaterials, especially nanotubes and nanowires, with decreasing diameter of the wire, the number of electron waves nodes contributing to electrical conductivity becomes increasing smaller by well-defined quantum contrast step. So example is given in electrically conducting carbon nanotube, only one electron wave node is observed which transport the electric current. So that is electrical properties. Then next, mechanical properties. So mechanical properties of metallic and ceramic nanomaterials are influenced by porosity, grain size, and filler use. Composite consisting of a polymer matrix, and silicates exhibit excellent mechanical and thermal properties. So, for example, you can consider a construction material, that is cement, which is nothing but a nanomaterial. So, it is having very small size, like nanoscale. So, if you are using cement, as we know, if you are using cement in a particular quantity, then that strength of that road or that building will be quite high. And if you are using less quantity of cement, then that strength will not be that much, and it will break that road, or there will be damage in the that construction. So that is mechanical property. And last, magnetic properties. Bulk gold, platinum, and palladium are non-magnetic in their bulk size, but they are nano size are magnetic. So if you go to that what sell or buy the gold, that shopkeeper will check that gold by first by magnet, and then it will take your gold. So you cannot believe, but that is there, that gold nanoparticles, palladium and platinum nanoparticles are magnetic in nature, but that should be in nano size. So that are the properties of nano materials. Thank you.